day. Tim back in the Revolved Realty Conference room with the best looking agent in the room, Teré Calloway. How are you?
I'm good.
I love giving good looking people a hard time. Hey, we are starting a new series of videos here on our Rockstar Agents, just a few of the folks that are helping us make Revolve such a great place to work and a company to do business with. And I wanted to have you in here because you really are, you're a rock star. And your story, I mean, this is a guy a couple of years ago was out trying to get jobs delivering pizzas, and how many millions of dollars?
I did 8.2 million this past year, and I have 4.5 under contract for 2022.
Not too shabby.
No.
So, well, let's seriously, let's talk about your story because you're not from here. Give us a little bit of background.
So I'm originally from Seattle, Washington. Football, that's been my dream my entire life. I played at the University of Nevada, then transferred to Alabama A&M because I knew the coach here, and ended up with the Atlanta Falcons for a short time. Right after that, flipped the house from about a week of watching HGTV. And then once I did that, I decided, that outside of football, I found something else that I had a passion for. So I started looking into real estate. I knew I wanted to live in Huntsville. So when I decided to move back, I was taking classes online to get my license. So then I got my license here, but when I moved here, I had $200 in my account, like literally $200. And I was delivering pizzas. I was like finding moving jobs on Craigslist, like anything to make some money until I could get my first sale. So I got my first sale 4 months after I started, quit everything else, and then that's been
just dove all in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about flipping that first house, because you watched HGTV for a week and thought you were Taray.
Yeah, literally.
And how'd that go?
So the actual rehab of it went fantastic. And I'll show you some pictures after this. Like, it was crazy. The place we hit, the hard point was the selling of it. That's because I used a friend's mom as a realtor instead of interviewing agents. And even though I understood, like, I'm a studier, so I was studying flipping, selling, and comps and things like that. So here I am with no real estate experience. I'm like, you can't use a 4.2 as a comp for a 3.1. Like, there's no way. But she was doing it, and I was like, well, clearly she knows more than me, so I'm going to trust her.
Yeah.
That ended up losing me a lot of money by having to sit on the market for months, holding costs and things like that. So in seeing what not to do, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And from that, I decided, hey, if I ever do any investments again, I'm going to represent myself. And also, if there's anybody else in the situation I'm in, I want to be the realtor so they don't have to go through this.
So that's what got you interested in getting your license and being a realtor.
Yeah, absolutely. Because real estate, it's not a one-track thing. There's just so many different avenues that you can go, and so many, it's just a variety of different things you can do with real estate, and that's what really attracted me.
Yeah. That's really wild. You learn a lot when you try to flip a house, but you also learn a lot when you try to sell a house.
Oh, yeah.
And it just so happened you ended up being really good at buying and selling homes. Talk a little bit about that. You've had your license, what, 2 years?
Yeah, a little over 2 years now. And this past year we did, I think 31 transactions, and it's because, like I always say, it's an investment. Anytime you purchase a home, anytime you sell a home, that's an investment. So that's how I look at it, and my clients love that. That's how I look at it, because they know that I'm looking out for their best interest. They know that they're going to be in good position. I had a client message me over the weekend, hey, I'm so glad you forced me to buy or go under contract when you did.
Yeah.
She's been under contract a month. The base price of her house is already $40,000 higher.
Yeah.
And I told her, and she knows, had she waited, that's $40,000 that is gone forever. She can never recover that same $40,000 back. So just by going under contract at that time, she was able to get that. Majority of my clients that bought last year already have over $100,000 in equity in their houses today. So, that's what I've, focused on, is making sure, I'm taking care of all my clients' best interests. And that's something that they really respect me for, and why I get so many word of mouth referrals today is because they're so happy with, their investment that they want to refer their friends.
You were a guy, when you came here for school, you didn't have a sphere of influence here.
No.
People think, well, these guys that are making a lot of money in real estate, like us, that we have a lot of referrals and we know everybody, but you came here and you really didn't know anybody but the coach. And then within 2 years, you become one of the top agents. Talk a little bit about how you did that. For those agents out there that think you have to have a big sphere of influence, how have you been able to do what you've done in just really a year and a half to 2 years?
So it was tough because in Seattle, I was a high school American football player. Like everyone knows me in Seattle. So it would have been really easy to go down the list of, alumni, things like that. But being here, I had no one. So I literally started from scratch. And I started with social media, Facebook, Instagram. Like I treated those like a job. So all day I was watching YouTube videos on the algorithm, trying to figure out the best times to post, what to post, how to get engagement, what engagement meant, like all of those things, like started from scratch. So then I started to figure it out and then just started posting, adding people, and basically introducing myself to the market to make a sphere. And now, even people probably watching this, a lot of people, they meet me the first time, they feel like they know me in person, even though we've never met, but they've been following me for years. So I focused on trying to, create a sense of familiarity with everybody else. Since I didn't know anyone, I wanted them to feel like they knew me. And that's what's really helped me grow quickly.
I talk about that a lot because I'll have people come up to me in restaurants and go, hey, how's your grandson? How's your dog? And I'm like, they're great. But yeah, it's really funny because in talking, you and I kind of stalked each other on social media before we met because I started seeing you on Facebook and then you won this like the top realtor in Alabama social media award. And I'm like, who is this guy? What? He's giving me a run for my money. But in truth, social media, if it doesn't matter if you've got a big sphere or not, that's where the customers are. And we talk about that a lot here. So talk about the last couple of years because you've really become somewhat of an expert in new construction here, which I think is super important.
Yeah, absolutely. So, a lot of things that I was looking at, and one of the things I saw was it was a competitive market. The best way to beat a competitive market is new construction because you don't compete as far as price point. Like you'll compete with other buyers to get that lot, but they typically don't allow bidding wars. So I was like, okay, this is going to be the best thing for my clients if, the situation works for them, meaning they don't have to be in somewhere right away. But it was a way to get my clients into something without a bidding war. It was a way for my clients to get a ton of instant equity. And on top of that, it was a way for my clients to get their closing costs paid for. I have a ton of clients that, use USDA loans so they don't have a down payment, then go with builders who pay most, if not all, their closing costs. And it's almost robbery. Like people are getting brand new houses for, very little money out of pocket. However, they are very qualified for these houses. So I don't want people to think that any of these financing is similar to 2008. That was completely different. And that was predatory lending. But this is very different, but it's an amazing way for, my clients to take advantage of the resources that are just right there.
And with the growth in the market, if you put a house under contract today, 8 months from now, it's worth 15 to 20% more.
Easily.
So new construction is such a great way to go. We're a big fan. Let's talk about your personal life a little bit. Talk a little bit about football because you were with the Falcons for a little while, but then this past year, is it the UFL?
The USFL.
The USFL. You are back to playing football.
Yes. So this past year, got a call and got invited to the Spring League, which was an NFL development league, and played there. So I actually took off about 2 months of real estate. So
what are you doing?
So I was up in Indianapolis playing football in my hotel room with a roommate trying to still get deals done. And now I signed a contract after that for the USFL this year, which if those know, that's what came out back in the 80s where Steve Young signed. At the time it was the biggest contract in football. So they're coming back. All the games are supposed to be in Birmingham, Alabama. So I'm already signed there, but waiting on some logistics to see if that's what I'm actually going to do this year. But it's an amazing opportunity.
What's harder, football or real estate?
I think they both have, their separate things. You got to worry about underwriters and real estate. And football, I'm worried about an offensive lineman trying to knock my block off. So it's different worries, but they present their own challenges.
I bet. Here's a guy that a couple of years ago had $200 in the bank, riding around looking for odd jobs. You recently bought your fiance something as a wedding present. What was that you got her?
Yeah. So I actually built us a house, and
she didn't know.
No, she had no idea. It was a 10-month surprise. I actually put a foreclosure notice on my condo. So she came home, the locks were changed. She saw that notice, was freaking out, and I told her to come meet me for a client's walkthrough, and it was actually our walkthrough. So
Wow.
she came and got to see the house, and yeah, we closed on that a few months ago, and got to spend our first Christmas together.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank
That's good. So when's the wedding?
We get married in 2 weeks.
All right. Is the house in your name?
Yeah.
Okay,
For
just
now.
checking. Let's go back to real estate for a second, because I know you are so busy. You've only been doing this a couple of years, but you're already putting together a team.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about your team and what you guys are doing.
Started a team because Tim was harassing me and saying, hey, you need to have a team. You know, you have something to offer to people. So that's something that I wanted to do. And we're growing with agents. And it was really about me, you know, being able to share my insight and my knowledge. Because even though I have only been in 2 years, turns out I have a little bit of knowledge.
It's been a fast education.
Of how things work. So I'm able to help, you know, mentor my team members and show them, you know, how to get clients quickly, how to market on social media with or without money, and just a bunch of different nuances that I wish I would have known when I first started, but I learned on my own and would love to share with them to help ease their path.
Yeah, and you've got one that, talk about Maria. I mean, she hit the ground running on you.
So in Maria's first deal, she did $1 million in sales volume, and we're actually able to double side one of them. So that was amazing to close 3 houses at once for her first deal. Just unreal. She's gonna have a great year.
That's a great way to start. So so you guys are setting it on fire. You're wanting to build the team. If there are agents out there who feel like they could benefit from being on your team, they need to give you a call and you guys chat about that.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm really easy to reach. Facebook, Instagram, email, phone number, whatever. Very accessible, and you know, this is something that I wish I would have had when I started out, because it definitely would have helped me move on even faster, though I did move on fast, but it would have been nice to have a lot of this information up front. So I definitely think I have a lot of valuable insight, and I'm just asking for agents that are, you know, hungry. You know, that's the biggest thing, to be hungry, want to be successful, and want to do it the right way. There's some people that don't do it the right way and don't put their clients first, and that's not what we're going for at the Calloway Group. So, you know, anyone that could qualify or even slightly interested or think about a move, you keep the lion's share of your commission here. That's what Tim told me, and he had me locked in from that second. And I've been over here since February, and it's been amazing.
Awesome. We're really glad you're here, and I think 2022 is going to be a big year for you. You personally already have what, $4 million?
Yeah, $4.5 million
under contract on the 7th of January.
Yeah.
Man, what took you so long?
Yep. Trying to have a big year. Would love to do, you know, 15 to 20 million.
I think you will. So if you are number one, an agent who could benefit from being on a really dynamic, fast-growing team with a great mentor, you need to talk to Teré, because he could certainly help put you on the fast track. If you're looking to buy and sell in this market, he is also your guy. Again, you I don't want to say you specialize in new construction, but you sell more of it than anybody I know.
And that was kind of, you know, a happy accident. And I always tell, like, I had Maria come with me, other agents. We go into any, you know, model home. That agent knows me, their sitter knows me. I've built relationships with these builders, and that's part of how I make sure, you know, my clients get the best. A new builder moved here last year, and they reached out to me and said, hey, we want to show you our product. So you can, and right now I have 8 houses under contract with them because I believed in their product. So that's something that, you know, just ended up an accident, but it's been great, and definitely have a ton of knowledge when it comes to new construction.
And if you're interested in doing new construction, you definitely need your own agent.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, do not rely on the site agent, because they work for the builders. You need someone on your side. So, all right. So if you're looking to get on a team, if you're going into real estate, or if you are looking to buy and sell, Teré, what's your phone number? What's the best phone number?
It is 206. It's a Seattle area code. 349-9487.
Just won't turn loose of that Seattle area code.
No.
All right, buddy. Hey, bright future. I'm glad you're here.
I appreciate you.
Just wish you wasn't so damn good looking. We'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Bye.